what exactly is a podcast? Because clearly there is a disconnection between people listening to the podcast and people that know we do a podcast, because they don't know what it is that we do and they don't know what it is that they're listening to. So they really don't know what to say about it. So I think we'll take some time to go through what is an actual podcast. Okay. What is it that we're actually doing? What inspired us to start doing a podcast? What are some of our favorite podcasts? And basically kind of like an impromptu instruction manual on what the fuck Houston's POV podcast is.
Okay, so let me kick it off. I got 3 things. First off, a podcast is exactly what you're listening to.
Right.
A podcast, by definition, is a digital audio file, this is coming from Google, made available on the internet for downloading to a computer or mobile device, typically available as a series, new installments of which can be received by subscribers automatically. Okay?
Now,
if you didn't get that, in layman's terms, basically think about the radio, the Breakfast Club, Mad Hatter, Tom Joyner, whatever it is. Just take out the music, that's a podcast. Okay?
Right.
It's just on the radio. Right. Our shit is on media servers, i.e. SoundCloud, iTunes,
Play Music.
Google Play.
You guys know what TED Talk is? Guess what? That's a podcast. Charlemagne the God has a podcast called Brilliant Idiots. I don't know if most people even know this. Angela Yee has a podcast called Lip Service. Podcasts have been a while for quite some time. They vary in topic and structure and format. There's some really, really fucking dope ones, and there's some really, really shitty ones. And I'm pretty sure people have realized that this is a dope one, because we're explaining what good podcasts are and what bad ones are.
Here's the thing that kills me though. Just so y'all know, this shit is frustrating as hell, because we talk to people about this shit every day and motherfuckers just don't get it. But just to bring it back to, conversational terms out, like, it's like, I don't know if it's a Houston thing or a Texas thing, bro, because everybody I talk to says, what is that? Oh, what you doing? Oh, I never heard that. Everybody got iPhones, but nobody uses the podcast app.
It's like,
and it's just like, what the fuck?
Y'all have iTunes, y'all have Google Play Music, and y'all use it to store y'all bootleg mixtapes and albums. But you do know that there's a whole nother tab for audiobooks, for podcasts. I mean, really educational and informative and entertaining things on these apps. On iTunes, for instance, the podcast section or the podcast app for iTunes is totally separate from iTunes. But when you go into it, I mean, it's a whole new world. I mean, it's fucking audiobooks and TED Talks and podcasts about relationships and podcasts about how to shoot your gun to kill a black person. Like, it's all kinds of podcasts out there.
Yeah.
And what made us even want to start doing this was, for one, there was no podcast from Houston. There were no podcasts basically giving people a perspective that majority of people have right now, because believe it or not, hip hop is heavily influenced and been heavily influenced by Houston people, Houston music, Houston art. Everything Houston is being taken and distributed in other states and countries. And it's like, why is there no, I mean, if you Google podcasts in Houston, we're probably going to be one of the only few to come up. So that says a lot. And before we came into the picture, there was none. It was just a bunch of niggas with internet radio sites, and that's about it. And they on there talking to, Paul Wall and Zero, but they not asking them real shit. They not even having a conversation. They sitting down with them, basically it's like a 15-minute conversation where every other word is a question. And that's not what I feel like Houston could be representing in the podcast market.
Well, the cool thing is that we trying to fill the void. And just to interject, like, there are podcasts out there from Houston, but it doesn't seem like anybody is trying to hold the city down, like people that do strictly rapper interviews, which is cool, but there's more to Houston than just the music. The music is a big culture that's unique to Houston only. and I guess it's from an authentic standpoint, but there's a lot more to Houston. So we trying to cover the whole sense of the city, like from the people to the topics that's going on, in the news. We want to talk about, the cool shit that's going on around the city that doesn't necessarily involve music. It's a huge car culture out here. It's all kinds of shit. But the craziest thing that gets me about this podcast shit is that for Houston to be, I like to think of Houston as the hub for the South in regards to like the third coast. You know what I mean? You got LA on the West Coast, you got New York on the East Coast. Those are two major hubs. And I truly believe that Houston is a big hub. So why the fuck is it that nobody from Houston knows what podcasts are? But in these other two hubs, everybody booming. Everybody it's like a gold rush for this podcast shit. Every rapper from goddamn like fucking Joe Budden, all these lame ass niggas.
Every rapper from J. Cole to Scarface has been on Combat Jack Show. Combat Jack Show is a podcast. And actually it's the umbrella podcast to Charlemagne's podcast and a lot of other podcasts that are popular right now on the internet, like The Read with Crystal and Kid Fury. That's another popular one, basically like a gay guy and a gay girl, and they talk shit for about an hour to 2 hours, and they have various people on there from Trina to they cousin. Like it don't matter, but it's hella entertaining, and there's an audience for that. And me personally, I've been listening to podcasts since about 2014. One of the very first podcasts that I listened to was a podcast called The Champs, and we talked about this on another episode. And The Champs would interview different celebrities from all walks of life and all time frames. They had Big Daddy Kane on there interviewing Big Daddy Kane. They had Aries Spears on there. They had Arsenio Hall on there. They had Blake Griffin on there.
So basically, it's not all urban. You know what I mean? It's basically celebrities, like you said, from all walks of life.
From
actors,
all walks of life.
Singers, philanthropists, anybody who has a buzz or a namesake. You know what I mean? Like they've talked to them.
Right, and these are two white dudes that run the podcast. Two white dudes. Now, somebody
you gotta touch the everyday people, bro.
And that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, there are podcasts out there that people in Houston are just unaware of. So Houston's POV podcast, our mission and our goal is to bring that same energy and same content to the city of Houston, basically.
Yeah.
And
in a Houston type of way.
And in a Houston type of way, because the whole title of the podcast is Houston's Point of View Podcast. Basically, all the pop culture and topics that are being discussed in these other major hubs that basically get overlooked in Houston, we're bringing it to Houston from our point of view, because all three of us, from Pop to me to Marcus, we're all from Houston. We're all from Houston, grew up in Houston, and we're in our 20s. I mean, we have the best perspective of Houston right now, because we're young enough to basically not have fucked up too much. Well,
we're old enough to we're old enough to avoid the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just absolutely it. We trying to bridge the gap, man.
We three cool ass niggas, man. We from different parts of Houston, so we bring different perspectives of Houston. Although we still meet on our common grounds. Like I say, I learned a lot of different stuff from them, just from where they grew up in Houston, than from my side of town to where I grew up in Houston. And the one thing I will say about Houston within itself, bro, Houston, like, music is a culture, art is a culture, piano and whatever you do, dance is a culture. Houston itself is a culture with subcultures, but Houston is the culture. And most people, like I said, most people run away from the idea that, like you say, Houston is this hub, man, and they want to get caught up in, well, I want to go here, I want to go here, I want to go here to do this. In Houston, you can do anything you want in Houston, man.
Yeah, and this, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's media outlets out there, like, shouts out to the Houston Press. Hopefully those dudes do a nice write-up on us. But just to get back to it, man, it's like, so I'm just wondering, dog, like, is it that nobody gives a fuck about a podcast? Like, I really want to know this. If you listen to this, like, is it that you just don't care about it? Is it because niggas just ain't up on it? Or is it just like niggas do this shit in secret? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just because a lot of people just don't know, bro. Like, they don't know that instead of trying to watch Netflix all day at work, or trying to, you know what I'm saying, jam on Pandora. You can turn on a podcast and actually stimulate your mind.
Not even to stimulate your mind, but could maybe help you through a particular issue that you may be working through in your own mind. Like, we talk a lot about a lot of different things. I understand most people have short attention spans, and I guess that's not really you guys' fault because of Instagram and Facebook Live and all this other bullshit live. I get it. But at the same time, you got to understand when some real shit is in front of you. Like, you have to. And shout out to Travis, man. Travis, my homie from Dallas, Travis Smith. He went to U of H, he had Alpha. He hit me up on Facebook because I put a post basically, you know, presenting the same question as this episode, which is, what is a podcast? And I told people to subscribe to find out. And I put a photo, and he's like, you know, what do y'all talk about on there? And from what I perceived from his question was, I want to check y'all out, but I'm not quite sure what a podcast is. But I'm sure y'all doing some dope shit, you know, and I'm just wondering what it is that y'all talk about. So I would try to explain it to him the best way I could on Facebook, which is that, you know, it's like a podcast gumbo. And what I meant by that is our first couple episodes are, what does it mean to be a black man from our perspective? That was our very first episode, our very first time even using microphones. So it's definitely a rough edit, but the concept itself is so golden. Because that was important to us, like for us to explain what we felt like it meant to consider yourself a black male. Those things that indicate to you that you're a black male. I wanted us to talk about that because I felt like it wasn't being discussed. And the second episode was the importance of black male friendship. Clearly, for us three to be doing a podcast, there has to be some friendship involved in that. There has to be. I'm not at work right now. This is my free time, but I'm choosing to do this with two other people. There has to be friendship in that. And for us to be doing this, it's clearly important. It's all of these little subtle things you can get from the episodes that'll make you think twice and be like, man, like, I didn't even catch what they was doing. Like, yeah. I completely missed it because I was so caught up in what the fuck is a podcast.
And not only that, but that's not the beginning nor the end of the content. You know what I mean? Like, we go into personal stories. We have episodes where we just kicking back and just, you know, just talking shit, man. We talking about what's going on. We've started with interviews. You know what I mean? Like, we're dabbling in various forms of entertainment, various forms of, you know, speaking over the airwaves, I guess you can say. But it all comes together to show who we are and what we represent. And that is, you know, our point of view. But the thing that I take from what you said, Jay, is that, you know, I'm glad to hear, like, y'all's perspective is that it's just people don't know what it is. Because I was starting to think niggas just don't have internet. Or niggas don't know what the fuck internet is for. Like, it's like internet is strictly for Netflix, social media, Snapchat, all that Snapchat. Shit. And
but that's not in titties. But titties and Facebook is not the internet. Like, that's
it's not by a long shot. Like, it's like there's far more information on the internet, dog. You know what's crazy, dog? Like, I got on Facebook the other day. No, this was today, bro. It's so much shit on Facebook now. Dog. It's fucking ridiculous.
Dog, where did all these
niggas is recording their own podcast?
That's what dog. Where are these
like,
videos
they're recording their own video, like live videos, dog. It's like that's a fucking podcast.
Yeah, that's real. Y'all don't even realize you're listening to this audio right now, not even realizing that you yourself have been making little individual podcasts.
Well, time out, bro. Time out. First off, I'm not going to give half these motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt to say they're recording podcasts, but that's a form of it. Because some of these motherfuckers will sit on there, smoke some weed,
Good
don't
morning,
do shit,
good
don't say
morning,
shit.
good morning.
Half these hoes, they just want to like show their angles. Like, you're not podcasting, you're annoying.
Everybody knows somebody's cousin or auntie or uncle or nephew or sister or brother that
post every day,
that just post every day, all day.
And they live every day.
Yes, like, and it's like, look, okay, I understand you just got a phone. it no longer flips up and down.
I
So
was
you're
about to say
so you're excited. You're a little bit excited because it makes you feel like Beyonce. It makes you feel like you're Jay-Z. But believe it or not, these hoes ain't worth shit. They made for 50 cents in Taiwan. And it don't even matter. Like you're idolizing the phone and Facebook and being on Facebook, being on social media. That's nothing. That's bullshit. The real shit is actually on the internet. Like you got to type in a website and go there and learn something that you didn't know before. Like, and you apply it to your everyday life. See, that's the thing. You have to connect yourself with what you digest from those quote-unquote websites. I think people get distracted or they feel like it won't apply to them, like DIY and like doing stuff at the house. There are a lot of websites that teach you how to do stuff.
Exactly. The internet is the resource. You know, the internet is the tool. And the thing is that people are becoming like solely like lenient, or they're leaning on the app as the tools, when it's like the internet is the tool. Look beyond the app. Get outside yourself and get on fucking Google. Like like you have to get outside of your daily norms. If all you do is you go to work, that's fine. You're an adult. You should be going to work. You know, like you fucking pay bills, you watch movies, all that shit is fine and dandy. But when you want to know how to do something, niggas don't go to the library no more. So fucking get on the internet and just fucking browse. The thing about Google is I can look up, I don't know, like something I want to work on. I guess edging up the yard or some shit. You know what I mean? I want them lines to be more crispy. You know what I mean? So there's techniques, different websites that's going to show different techniques and ways to do it, different things like that you can dive into. And to be completely honest with you, I'm pretty sure it's a podcast out there where motherfuckers talking about cutting grass. You know what I mean? Like
I'm
that's
pretty
just
sure of it too.
that's
I'm
just
pretty
the thing.
sure of it too. I would bet my money that it is. This is a podcast for everything. I found podcasts about like that told ghost stories. Like basically it was these various podcasts. It was a bunch of them, and all them hoes did was tell ghost stories. Like all day long was a different ghost story.
No, bro. I follow one from out here, bro. All they basically do is talk about high school and like college basketball and the NBA basketball. And they just be on that wilding the fuck out.
Man,
they'll get niggas like to come on the interview, and it's not filtered though. You know what I'm saying? It's like a nigga version, because you gonna hear niggas say nigga, you gonna hear them cussing, you gonna hear them talking shit. You know what I'm saying? But they talking about high school, college, and them niggas is known in Houston, so it's like it's pretty cool.
And I really don't want people to get distracted by the different kind of episodes that we've put out. There's one in particular that's called Hunger Games, featuring Jay Finn. I think that's like episode like 6 or 7. And the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because I know I got people's attention. So I want to bring it up right now so I can get you guys to understand that the episode is not what you think it is. That entire episode is a story about me, Marcus, and Jonathan when we got duped into doing a pyramid scheme in Houston. This shit actually happened. If you listen to the episode from top to bottom, nothing of that is made up. That's all from all three of ours memory of what exactly happened. And we were kids. We weren't like in our 20s. We were kids. I had just got out of high school. Jonathan had just got out of high school. Like, this was clear, like, adults taking advantage of children, black children at that, and using us, you know, like, and then not paying you. So it's like slavery, you know, like, it's like slavery.
But the point I think that you're making, though, is that, you know, the things that we talk about are going to be all over the board as far as, you know, titles and topics. But the thing is that there's something you can take from all of it. So I would pray that, you know what I mean? Like, if there was a 17-year-old, you know, like, I know it's young people into podcasts too. So anybody 18 to 25, something like that, you know, if there's a pyramid scheme that appears in your life, just listening to our story, you know, you can listen to the shit we were saying and be like, man, them niggas was stupid. Or you can listen to, you know, like, you can hear the progression. Like, it was a real life experience that we learned a lot from. Like, but at the same time, we just hope that translates to the listeners. You know what I mean? Like everything that we talk about, don't get me wrong, like we might joke, we might kid, but there's always an underlying motive.
There's always going to be a point to an episode, no matter how comical it may be. Like, okay, the last one we put out, the One Night Stand. I don't know how people feel about it. You know, it is what it is. You know, like it was.
Hey, bro, you a wild boy. Like, hey, what he told Martin say? Hey, you a wild boy.
You know, and what I want to say about it is that at the end of the day, there was a point to us putting that out, which is you can avoid this if you listen to this episode and you're young and you've been drinking too much. Like, you can listen to this and be like, man, I don't want to do my boys like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can learn from that.
When you get past the story, and, you know, after the story, it's more so like, you know, it's cool to have fun, but, you know, be safe.
Yeah, like
that also tell you how real your friends are, though.
Yes,
if your friends ain't willing to do that for you, because them niggas really your homies.
It does.
Them boys went the extra mile just so you can do your due.
That's real.
But at least try to.
We gonna do the part 2 to that one, nigga.
It's so many jewels to that. But the moral of the story is basically, you know, we have a bunch of these stories, a bunch of them. You know, we only put out the ones that we felt like needed to be expressed right now. Like these few that we put out so far, we only got 11. This is the 12th episode. We've been doing this since May of 2016. You know, like, we're at the point now to where we're putting out a new episode every week, and it's basically at the point of kind of it's running on its own, like it's a self-operating machine at this point, and we just want people to stay on board and actually understand what it is that we're doing. And if you like it, just stay plugged in. That's all you got to do. You're gonna see us grow and become more and more in front of your face on whatever social media website you go to. Like, you're going to see us more on Twitter, you're going to see us more on Facebook, more on Instagram, and I just want people to understand what it is that we're doing, you know, and actually get it, you know, and not wonder, because I can understand, you know, people got full-time jobs, got families, they don't got time to sit down and listen to an hour, 2, 4, 5, 6 hours of us rambling and talking and trying to
let me stop you right there. That's the thing with podcasts. First off, you don't have to listen. You don't have to consume it all at
one time. Yeah.
Okay. The one thing that with my podcast, what happens is my phone connects to the Bluetooth in my truck. I get in the truck and it automatically picks up wherever it left off. Whatever I'm listening to, it starts playing. So while I'm driving, I'm listening to the podcast. Other than that, you know, when I'm at work, I'm not necessarily doing that, but some people have a workspace where they can listen to a podcast and work at the same time. It's like you adapt this type of information to your lifestyle. Maybe you working out. You know what I mean? Maybe you cutting the grass. Maybe you know, everybody don't want to listen to music while you're cutting the grass. Maybe you want to listen to something more informational, because music, after you listen to it a few times, you know what I mean? Like, it gets old. You're always searching for more. So this is just a new type of, you know, food for your brain, the way I see it, or a new type of entertainment. It's entertainment too. Right, you know, it's not. Right. That's why we make jokes. That's why we talk about funny shit, or, you know, fun times that we had in our life, as well as, you know, give you an adult point of view. We trying to cultivate that to where it's entertaining. That's the only way you're gonna listen.
Right.
And, you know, but now, at the end of the day, 10 times out of 10, you're gonna relate. It's different. It's real. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, we young. We basically in our primes. As black men, black young men, we're in our primes. Who better to tell you about, like you said, who better to tell you about the city than some 27-year-old guys that's been here, born and raised, cool young dudes. We ain't no lame niggas, man.
Pop
strict. We in our own lanes, bro.
Like, we gonna touch on that too.
Like on the very first episode, Pop came in. He said it best. We real life cool. You ask anybody that know us, they gonna all say the same thing. Some cool niggas. Like, I don't know what it is, but they just gravitate. Niggas flock to them. Like, I never have a bad time when I'm with them. Like, regardless of what's going on. And we're just trying to convey that through audio at this point, because we actually have a lot of shit to actually say. We're all very well versed. We done experienced a lot of shit. We're up on everything that's going on in the world. Everything that you see, we see.
we're aspiring for higher goals, man. This has a purpose. This is not just for us to be out here running our voice. This is to enlighten our people. This is to help drive ourselves forward, help us grow by learning more about people, as well as us being able to help people grow for learning more about us and let them know people are the same as them, man. So
absolutely,
it's more to it, man.
Right.
So if you're trying to, just like you support the rappers, if you know somebody personally that's rapping, like you support them, buy their shit, buy their CD, whatever. Just the same thing, man. Support us. It don't cost nothing.
No,
it costs you nothing. Like I wouldn't. You know what's crazy? All the people I reach out to, I'd be like, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Damn, nigga, you can't press the little heart that's on the screen you looking at?
Get
the fuck out of here.
That's sad. Like, because the point is,
niggas don't want you having that like from them. They like, I'm not doing shit, so I ain't liking this nigga shit.
I don't know. I mean, if I want people to honestly tell us what you think of the podcast. What do you think about what we doing? What do you think about the things that we talk about? Because like Pop said, we regular dudes. Like, we telling stories that anybody can go through.
Yeah.
Like anybody.
And you don't have to agree with the shit.
Right.
That's the best part about it.
Right.
We want you to we want to hear from people that don't agree with us, from people that agree with us, from people that kind of agree with us but would change something up. And we want to learn and, you know what I'm saying, draw more things from that, man.
Right.
It's all about dialect. That's what's wrong with the world. We sit behind the keyboard, man. We sit behind the keyboard so much. We got a lot of keyboard warriors out here who will get on Facebook and tell it like it is, but you know what I'm saying? You don't want to listen to the podcast and then come tell us, hey, man, I think I like y'all voice on this, but on this, I think something else. We cool with that. Bring it on. That's what we want y'all to do, man.
That's the point. Just to get back to you, that's the one thing you got to understand is that, since we come from Houston, we adults now. You know what I mean? We can speak like we grown-ups. We can speak like we know how it is to work in an environment with professionals where you have to use, your vernacular and you have to use your vocabulary to express how it is that you feel. You see what I'm saying? Whereas we could get on here just, know what I'm saying? Know what I'm talking about already all day long. But y'all already know we're from Houston. So, let's move on, get past that and come on and elevate with us. That's all we're trying to say.
Right,
yeah,
right.
How can let's just grow.
This ain't on no uppity shit. Like, this ain't on no nerd shit. This is just entertainment for anybody in all walks of life. It don't matter if you black, white, Hispanic, Jewish. It don't matter. You've all had some type of relationship where one of the other parties involved may have had an issue at one point in time with commitment. Now, if you can't relate to that, really, maybe this is not for you. Straight up.
If you can't, maybe you can't relate to being, what it means to be a black man. Okay, go to the next thing. Do you like rap? You like music? You know what I mean? Can you relate to that? All right, what about, a night out partying? Because that's what our shit is about. We didn't live the same life that most of y'all have lived. There's nothing special about us. We don't walk on water. You know what I mean? We're offering ourselves and, our experiences to the masses. That's what we're doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you can't, it's hard for me to believe that, people can't relate. Because like right now, I'm visualizing an audience right now. You know what I mean? And this is a diverse audience. And I'm not trying to force anybody to understand me. But if you do, you do. If you don't, like Johnny said, this ain't for you.
Or you can just let us know that you disagree in a respectful, adult manner. Hit us up on, like you say, hit the Twitter, like, hey, man, I heard this, blah, blah, blah. I want to get on and express my opinion on it.
Yeah, you never know. Like, we know a little bit about a whole lot.
Exactly. Take it. We from Houston. I was born in 88. I grew up in Houston in the 90s. I went to Astroworld. I went to Burger King. Like, my mama chopped the Fiesta. I don't know. Shut up.
Wieners.
I mean, look, we like to eat where the same places you niggas eat. We like French's Chicken. We like Timmy Chan's. We like Burger Park. We like all that shit. We go to the same places y'all have fun. We've been to Lockwood Skating Rink. We used to go to Astroworld. All that shit, man. Like, it's the same. Like, we all come from the city, man. Like, that's no doubt. You know what I mean? Like, so, I don't know if that's the thing, if it's a personality confliction, man, y'all don't get over that. you know, it just is what it is, man. Like I think that just going back to that nerd shit, like that shit sparked. I was listening to fucking what's that Lupe Fiasco? I'm beaming. Earlier today, and then he was it was some dope shit. That nigga said a line in the song. He was like, "Hood's where the heart is, and nerd is where the words is from." But I don't claim either because I merged them. You know what I mean? Like it's like
like I'm a little bit of both.
That's real.
Absolutely.
Why can't I have that hood in me, but I like the little nerdy shit at the same time.
I'm telling you, man. I done been all over the international ballroom. I done been to parties in Fifth Ward. Like I didn't dated people that lived out Tidwell, and I grew up off Fondren and Maine, and I was born in Harlem Clark. So I know the city like the back of my hands. I had a car at 15. So you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing about Houston that I don't already know. Trust me. And I'm just trying to convey that because I feel like maybe a lot of people don't know me personally. People maybe from Facebook or whatever, and they may have a certain perception of me or, you know, or a perception of my fiance, or they may feel like we live a certain life, and it's not that at all. Like, it's not that at all. And I know that being on fucking social media all day, it's just a cop out from conversation. So you really not getting the opportunity to get to know somebody because you're basing all of your perception of a person off of social media, and that's just you bound to drizzound, like just straight up, like you cannot succeed at life if your perception is based off of someone's social media.
Because that shit ain't real to begin with. So,
no.
I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure there are people out there that, you know, it's strictly authentic, and they, you know, they probably try to make sure that it is, but get the fuck out of here, man. Like, you know, like
I'm just saying, like all of that
whole
shit.
Internet flexing is cool, dog. But it's like, just to get back to the point, like, you know, just remember, like we're taking it somewhere personally because we trying to get this shit off. You know what I mean? And we gonna continue doing our part. You know what I mean? So if you listening to this right now and you fuck with us, just keep fucking with us and hit that like button
And subscribe.
You know, straight up,
nigga. Straight up. Email us.
I'll catch the fade.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. But either way, this shit's taking the fuck off. So I would just say, you know, get with
Be
it now.
a part of it while you can, man.
You know, get with it now, man.
And we need a photographer. So email us.
Videographer, editor, you know.
And a social media marketer.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit we do on our own, and we real hands-on with it. But at the same time, man, it's like at this point, we trying to put together a team, because teamwork makes the dream work.
Straight up.
Yeah, then we can't be in 2-3 places at one time.
Yeah,
Straight
that too.
up. So
somebody got to be control behind the scenes.
So email us at Houston's POV Podcast for all communication. Questions, comments, concerns, want to be a guest on the show. Shout out to Ray Casso once again. And we got a lot of stuff in the works, man. Ray Casso. Yeah. We got a lot of shit in the works, man. We got some more guests already lined up. I know a lot of people been waiting on this quote-unquote female perspective. I guarantee you is right at your neck. Like, I guarantee you. So we got James coming back. So if you don't know James, you probably wondering who the fuck is that? It's another nigga involved in this? God damn, how many niggas they got? Yes, we got another nigga. If you don't know who he is, go listen to episodes 1 through 3 and fucking call me in the morning. I guarantee you, nigga, you're gonna know who James is after you listen to episodes 1 through 3. So we got James coming back. So we're gonna do another relationship series. We're gonna actually have a female perspective on. I know you guys been waiting on it, so we went ahead and set it up. Hope you motherfuckers happy. You're tired of hearing all these guys. I understand. It's frustrating. I understand. So we got a female coming in. No, she is not dating any of us. This is a non-biased person coming in to give her side of the pie. And shout out to Houston's Press once again. We're gonna hit y'all over the head in like the next week. Y'all gonna be like, what? Yeah, nigga. What? So Houston's POV Podcast. Jono Ray, Jono_Ray on Twitter. Houston's POV space podcast on Twitter. I can't remember my Instagram, but fuck it. Go ahead.
I told you. I was
was 2 out of 3 though.
I told you it was gonna be good, bro.
2 out of 3 though.
Hey.
Great odds.
Hey, it's your boy POP, man. Instagram, Poppy Righteous, Poppy _ Righteous, POPPY _ Righteous. I ain't spelling righteous for you, because if you can't spell it, check yourself.
HPOV _ MACCCK. It ain't no Crip shit. It's just some Mac shit, man.
Yeah. That's my favorite line, man.
Stay plugged into it. Subscribe to Houston's POV podcast on all platforms: iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Player FM, and YouTube. We here.
Oh shit, the comments gonna be bumping on YouTube, dog. Once this shit blow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. I love reading YouTube.